Greetings and welcome to the One to Scale Man Proudly Business. Another episode of You Know What It Is, man. It is a Collectors Lounge International Sunday. I'm on your host, Leo Rockwell. Um, Sorry for the bass. Dealing with a bit of a cold, mixed with sinus issues, allergies, all that good stuff. So it's not fun. So nothing what you hear right now is definitely an intentional thing. If I didn't have to go through this shit, I wouldn't. But definitely thank you for being here. We got a lot that we're going to talk about here. We just got through actually I believe some of the greatest Star Wars content ever seen with Rogue One. I mean, sorry, with Andor leading into Rogue One, which makes the 10th anniversary next year that much better. I think, and I haven't felt this good about Star Wars and the space that it's in right now in a long time, and I hope it can only progress from here. But we're going to talk about that. We got a couple of releases this week, a couple of reveals, and we're definitely going to talk about that Obi-Wan because I want to see how people feel about that and its release. If people were successful with getting the rooted like they wanted, if you were just more reserved and said, you know what, I'm just going to have to sculpt it. We'll talk about that as well. But yeah, man, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, of course, so you're always up to date as to what we got going on over here on the channel. And before we actually get in, man, got to bring in the this incredible panel. What's going on with you fellas?
All good.
Howdy.
Yep.
Hello there.
Yeah, man.
We were just talking about there's a bit of a heat wave in the UK, Scotland just now, so
yeah,
it's a
I
pleasant
feel like you're
change.
referring to yourself, like as a bit of a heat wave.
That was when I
Yeah.
met Mandy last weekend. Oh, what a laugh we had.
wow, that's incredible. That's incredible, man. But definitely,
And she was like, Lael was correct. You've got strength.
hey, I tried to warn her.
But hey, I wasn't drunk, so
I tried to warn her, bro. I try to tell people, but they don't believe me until they experience it themselves. So you can't say I didn't warn you. It's like you don't, like I said, you didn't read the warnings on the box. That's your problem. They tried to tell you what it was before you read it. And if you chose not to read it, that's your problem. Definitely not mine. But definitely thank you for being here, bro. Chewy, man, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, man?
Oh, my nerves are going. I'm either going to be continuing to follow my team after tonight or not.
Hey,
So
hey,
done.
listen. Salute to you, man, because your team's been hanging in there, bro. And they're doing such a great job.
Yeah.
But on that note, sorry, bro. I'm sorry about Boston, man. I mean, I know your fault.
You're
Really-
sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. They're sorry. I don't need sorry. I need results. I need results. How?
Bro.
Could
I
you
mean-
have so many opportunities?
Yeah.
So many and squander. No, they did. I would say they did the best. And then they didn't. And then they did. And then they didn't. And congratulations to New York. Congratulations.
I mean, in your defense, though, you did lose, you know, your star player, you know, due to injury. You know what I mean? So that you know, that happens. Stuff like that definitely happens, man. I mean,
That's okay.
But-
We'll come back next year.
yeah. Hey,
That's what they say.
And the year after
happen
that.
in the playoffs.
And the year after that.
the year after that, man. You know how it is, bro. It happens, but hey, better know. I know New York is celebrating right now, man. I got a call from like everybody was like, "Yo, you need to be up here." I was like, "No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'll look at you from afar and say, hey, good job,' but you know what I mean. I don't because the streets. If New York is right now already extremely arrogant, bro, you already know how it's going to be right now, and you talking to one of them, so. That side is like I don't need that space and that smoke. I'll stay back and be like, hey, because here's the thing: we always know when you celebrate too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just lay back.
Ahead of the job you're trying to do now.
Once we get to, let's get to the finals first. Let's
Yeah.
actually get to the finals first, and then we can say that at least we got there. You know what I mean? So
Go Leafs, go.
wait. Yeah, go Leafs, go, bro. You know,
Wait,
See,
who are
when
the
you're
Leafs
talking,
playing?
talking sports.
Florida Panthers.
yeah,
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
me and Lucy were in Glasgow yesterday, my home city,
yeah.
and our fiercest rivals. It's probably the fiercest rivalry in football, soccer in the world. Maybe outside Boca Juniors and River Plate. And bad timing. We were on a dinner date. Just tens and tens of thousands of our rival fans all in the city. And typical UK style. 90% were extremely drunk. People lying all about the streets, and oh my god,
They going kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable viewing.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Definitely only imagine, man. But definitely thank you guys for being here, and everybody out there in the chat. I'll get you in just a second, but before we do, definitely got to say what's up to the places where we get our figures from. Starting off with our guy Ray over there at Underground Figures. If you're looking for the latest and greatest, we definitely got it for you. No NRD. Shipping and handling is definitely reasonable. As you can see, if you scroll through, yes, he does have that sculpted Obi-Wan. If you want to get it, Vader on the table, which we will talking about those figures. We will be talking about those figures later on today. But yes, any of those pieces that you're looking for, he got it. He'll definitely take care of you. So hit him up, especially if you're looking for it, and he'll make sure that you are definitely in a special place, man. So, and on top of that, make sure you create yourself an account, because you never know, when there's free shipping or a discount code off the figure choice. So hit him up, he'll take care of you. Also, we got to give a shout out to our guy Ray over there at Hawkwood's Toys. Again, that is Cool Water Ray. Always calling that. We always we was thinking about changing the name to Ray's Juke Joint. But definitely, man, if you're looking for not just the figures, comic books, stickers, the full experience, Ray gives you that. Make sure that you have everything that you need. Again, if you ain't got it, he'll definitely find it for you. Definitely, he's a tactician in that space. So definitely give him a shout out. He'll take care of you. Also, we gotta give a shout out to our guy, Jacob over there at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. Man, it's not just about figures, but it's also physical media, source material. So it's those comics that you might be looking for. He definitely got it for you. So hit him up and he'll take care of you. Also, we want to give a shout out to Brian Wong over there at Module Case, Module Space. Again, I got the mono, but you can actually get your own display of choice. And he'll make sure that you have everything that you need. Again, just different display options, incredible display options. Hit him up personally, and he'll make sure that you got it. Tell him I sent you, and he got you as always, man. Also, again, newcomer to this, definitely got to give her a shout out and give her flowers. We are talking about Tina Cruz over there at El Diluvio. Incredible pieces. I am just astounded at the work that she's definitely been able to do. Incredible. Definitely worth it. Especially if you're looking for like rooted figures. This right here. Wow. She did such a phenomenal job. She just took this Mighty Thor to a level that I'm like, wow. Like literally the realism in this is incredible. You know what I mean? So definitely want to give her a shout out. If you were looking to get your figures definitely take it to that next level, hit her up, Tina Cruz, El Diluvio on Instagram, and she'll take care of you. Now, you might actually get placed on a list because she got a long list, but at the same time, man, that list is definitely worth it. And what you're looking for is incredible. So hit her up, and she definitely got your back. So yeah, man. Let me say what's up to the chat, everybody that we actually got out there with us today. We got Renz out there, man. He's at Mondays over here. Happy birthday, Press X. Yeah, man. Yeah, when's your birthday? Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So definitely
29, 28, 29,
21 again.
something like that.
In my spirit, I'm 29. My back is 40. My back is like 50, but I think I'm 43. I don't know. I'm at that age where I'm like, what? How old am I? I will be 43. Yeah, 43.
Yeah, 43, bro. You
So
don't
where are
look
my
it.
43 birthday spankings?
I knew that was coming. Somehow I knew that part was coming.
Where are my birthday
Oh man,
spankings?
I feel bad. I've got a decade on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel.
You said, don't feel
I think
bad.
we all have a decade on you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
pretty much.
I'm sorry.
Almost.
I'm sorry. I can act. I can act like I'm a decade older.
You're only as old as you feel.
Oh, in that case,
Yeah. Anyway, man, definitely, brother. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. Well, actually, happy early birthday. But I'm sure we'll be getting our birthday rounds tomorrow, man. So definitely,
thank you.
Thank
you.
we got Christopher Greaves in the building. Thank you for being here as always. So what up, Layout Press X, Agent Silver Fox Layout? Why are you trying to sound like Calvin? Trust me, I'm not. Trust me, I am not. I am really struggling right now, but other than that, man, I appreciate it. We got 12-inch Smooth Stream in the building. What's going on with you, brother? He's Hello Community Collectors. I bought a couple dewbacks today.
Couple.
He's with a couple. Okay.
Yeah, he's at least two.
Wow,
At least two.
That's incredible. We got Sheila in the building. Happy early birthday to Press X. Hey, you know, it's always a family affair. Family's always welcome. Definitely appreciate you. We got Striker 47 in here. Thank you for being here. Renz is like Barry White. Nah, bro, like Barry Syke. Let me see here. Who else we got in the building with us today? We got Thomas Houston in the building. Thank you for being here as always. I'm off to my first Renaissance fair. Enjoy, brother. Definitely enjoy, man. Who else have we got in here with us? CJP Models is in the building. Thank you for being here as always. And Palal 89 is in the building. Thank you for being here as well. We got Chuck G in the building. He says, feel better, Lael. Thank you so much, brother. I definitely do appreciate that. Who else we got in here? We got Jay Hunter Reviews. We got our guy, Holland Toy Flicks. Afternoon, all happy Sunday. Definitely thank you for being here, brother. It's highly appreciated, man. So let's start talking. We want to start differently today. Just a tad bit differently because again, I think we can honestly say we experienced a phenomenon overall, you know, in this realm of Star Wars. And it goes without saying that I am extremely pleased at how this ended. And you know what? There's always those shows that will resonate, you know, with you for the rest of your life. And I mean, on a psychological level, an emotional level, like I didn't see not a dry eye in the house. Literally, bro, for like, what was it, episode 8?
Yeah.
People, like, I was looking at content creators, they were crying. Myself, I'm sitting up here bawling off of the episode, bro, because I'm like, that massacre touched so close to home, bro. They had a lady. I think it was a lady who's basically a Star Wars fan, but she talked about how her mother was a Holocaust survivor and how watching this, she was almost afraid for her to see it, but she knows that it was so relevant to what's going on right now that, you know, she said she knows that it wasn't intentional, but I think that what Gilroy did, or what she said Gilroy did, was so special that it got people involved who you think shouldn't have been involved. You know what I mean? People who really thought that this story, or, you know, that, you know, it was something like X, you said something that, you said this the other day, something that we never asked for, but needed. Never thought we needed, but we got it. We realized we need it. Like I said this last week, it's not just the best Star Wars show, but the best show that I've almost damn near ever seen. Like, because that's how much it attached itself to me and how important it was. And to see that, honestly, bro, like when you look at it from the scheme of things, it was just as much as Mon Mothma's show as it was Andor, because again, it was important for us to realize everything that she sacrificed, and I thought they did such a phenomenal job of that. Um, I'm glad they gave it to us, man, and it flowed so seamlessly into Rogue One. And you know what, the crazy part about it was, it flowed seamlessly into Rogue One, and then after Rogue One, I went straight into New Hope,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me hate Tarkin even more, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, you know what I mean? Because again, we know that Tarkin was also responsible for a massacre himself. And when you think about it coming straight from Gorman, it's like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is really major. So I loved it, man. Chewy, what were your thoughts? What were your overall thoughts after watching it?
I did the same thing that you did. I watched Rogue One after, and then we watched New Hope right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, like I didn't have to do that by myself. So I'm lucky enough that I have I have a wife who likes to do these things with me. So so it worked out well. But it from a storytelling perspective alone, the writing was so good that it's hard to find anything wrong with it. It's even the things that they don't show you and the things they don't tell you.
Yeah.
It's implied enough that they don't need to tell you about certain things that happened and how things went. Like I was watching I don't know if you guys have heard of her. She's an online Star Wars Meg.
Yeah.
She was talking about a cut scene that was filmed where we saw that Mon Mothma's husband had known she was part of the rebellion all along, but just didn't tell her that he knew. But he was quietly kind of just deflecting from her so that people wouldn't be onto her.
Yeah.
And that in the last episode that he's basically telling her this, which made it even hit home even more when you see him in the car with that other guy. I forget his name, his wife, and she's drunk.
Yeah.
Because it really makes you wonder. You've got a guy like her husband who, for however many years, was quietly protecting her.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she has to leave. And she's left her husband and she's left her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's left everything behind to get the rebellion going. And because of that, it just makes it hit that much harder.
Yeah.
Just the fact that the final episode ended with, I guess we're doing spoilers, right?
Oh yeah, it's beyond spoilers now. If they haven't seen them now, pretty much everybody who's here has to have seen it. So
but just the end there.
We already had a spoiler show on Thursday, so who cares?
Good.
Yeah.
But like Cassian going off, he's going off. His final mission is to go and meet that guy that he meets in the alley, the one that he kills. Because he can't climb up the wall. And it's perfectly tied. It's perfectly tied in. Like,
you know what would have been a perfect ending? Is if you saw, you know how like Andor was slowly walking and you saw him walking through the camera. Like if there would have been a cut scene of this tattooed butt naked dude slow motion running in the background with a towel from a whole bunch of Japanese police officers, right? And Andor turn around like that and be like that would have been
that would have been a great ending too.
That'll be in the special edition right there. The special edition with all the George Lucas, all the CGI and all the insert stuff. That'll be in the special edition. Andor season 2 special edition. You haven't seen anything until you've seen everything.
But basically, I think, like you said,
this scene with Bix and the baby, and then sorry.
That's funny.
I wondered if that was Ian's right from the minute I saw her with the baby. I'm thinking, where's Ian?
Yeah,
where's he been? But no, it was definitely, of all of the Star Wars shows, It is far and away the best one, and like you said, just one of the best shows.
Yeah,
I loved it. I
I loved everything about it. Ian, what are your thoughts on just the experience overall, man? Like, what are your thoughts?
So even like season 1, so I've got on 4K steelbooks, so I kind of collect that. I've got everything on physical media with Star Wars, and you know, before season 2 came about, I obviously watched it again, and there was a bit of nervous trepidation about it because I really loved season 1. The biggest compliment I could give Andor as a whole and season 2 was that it elevated the original trilogy for me. And I just didn't think I would ever say that. And the original trilogy means everything to me because there are a lot of childhood aspects there that just amazing memories. So, and also Rogue One. That's obvious. Like you guys actually went back and watched the OT, and that's, you know, when I came out with the thought that this has elevated it for me. For me, apart from everybody knows the writing, the storytelling was amazing, but the directing was consistently brilliant for me. The way they developed the characters, the acting. Obviously, the actors amazing, but I think the directors have got to play a part in that as well. Things like Ben Mendelsohn improvising on some scenes, and with Dedra putting his finger in her head. So that was improvisation. The tense. Here's the thing: the tension on so many episodes. At some bits, I was actually going. Really, it was just incredible. So, and I think the cinematography, I loved so much of the cinematography. You could see they spent good money. The sets, everything about it. It's superb. It's
it is.
It's really superb, and I can't wait to get this also on 4K Steelbook. It's I really hope that we get more figures because I'll collect everything from it.
And that's when you know it really connects well with you. And the final scene of the last episode, it took me back listening to Luthen in that speech when he said, "I burn my soul for a sunlight that I'll never see." And when you see Bix in that final scene looking up at a sunlight, walking through the field, it was a sacrifice that was made. You know, Luthen really sacrificed everything, you know, and as much of a prick as he really was, he was a necessary one. If you think about it, you know what I mean? He bled his soul for the rebellion. And I think that his lesson to Mon Mothma was you got to be a lot stronger than what you are right now. Like, really, you can't be that pushover. You have to make a decision. And that was his point. Make this decision. If you are in, you are all in. You can't be halfway in. You can't approach this with a level of fear because it's not going to thrive off of that fear. You have to believe in what you're doing. And so he sacrificed a lot. I mean, Luthen was the teacher almost damn way through the entire thing. He had seen wars. He had been a part of a war. He had been a part of a massacre. And his demise at his own hands, in a sense, or actually, no, his demise at Clea's hands was perfect. It was like a perfect ending in a sense, you know, a bittersweet type of ending. For her, even though she loved him, she knew what had to inspire, she knew what had to transpire at that point. And I think he much rather, he die at her hands You know what I mean? So it was just a beautiful scene. You know, everything was just so connected. And I think that actress, that was her first time. That was her first
Yeah.
acting fucking role.
Yeah.
And she did it like a fucking pro. It was phenomenal.
She wasn't even their first choice.
Yeah.
Like
At
they
all.
they were looking at other actresses, and then she just sort of they pulled her in out of nowhere.
And she killed it.
Yeah.
She did such a phenomenal job. X, with you, you know, again, you know, your life on Coruscant, the things that you basically witnessed the entire time, you know, you smoothing with all the, you know, the high ups stuff. Now, what would you think, man? What's your thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, I remember this line specifically, and I'll read it word for word from Rogue One, where he says, Cassian's like, some of us, well, most of us, we've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion. Spies, saboteurs, assassins. Everything I did for the rebellion. And every time I walked away from something I wanted to forget, I told myself it was for a cause that I believed in, a cause that was worth it. Without that, we're lost. Everything we've done would have been for nothing. I can't face myself if I gave up now. None of us could.
Yeah.
And we have now seen what they had to do.
Yeah.
We've seen what they had to do. We've seen who they were up against. We always known that the Empire at its core was evil, but we never really saw them do evil. Aside from blowing up a planet for a split second, you never really got to see what oppression looked like and the lengths to which they would go to achieve their goals, and the fact that the Imperial war machine itself, the people working within it, will eat each other before they'll help each other, which actually led to their downfall against the rebellion, because there's no way the rebellion actually should have been able to take down the Galactic Empire. But the fact that there was so much infighting and a culture of, you know, stepping over each other and backstabbing, that Sith mentality, you got to see it. You got to see it firsthand. You got to see what happened to Dedra. You got to see what happened to Partagast. You got to see what happened to Krennic. You know, it's like, Krennic, you were really pushing people around, but guess what? In Rogue One, we're going to see that Tarkin is going to be the one, and then Vader is going to be the one pushing you around. So everyone's going to get their comeuppance. You know, when it comes to the Imperials, you know, everyone with the exception of, you know, again, I say no one wins except for Palpatine when it comes to the Empire. You're all just working, you're all cogs in the machine for Palpatine. And this particular show came at the right time, because I think Star Wars fans were ready for it. I think Star Wars fans had grown up to a point where we expected something different from our Star Wars. You know, we have seen the prequels, we've seen the original trilogy, we've seen the sequel trilogy, we've seen shows like The Mandalorian, which feel very much quote unquote like Star Wars. Tradition, what we expect, you know, from Star Wars in that same vein. And then we've seen a ton of animation, a ton of really, really great animation. And now we had a chance to see something that we only got a glimpse of in Rogue One. And I thought Rogue One was the best thing that Disney had ever done with Star Wars. You know, when I saw it, I'm like, this is incredible. And who would have thought that, you know, a good decade later, we'd still be talking about, you know, Rogue One. Almost a decade later, we'd still be talking about Rogue One, but that corner of the Star Wars universe has been fleshed out. It's its own corner of Star Wars now is Andor and Rogue One. It's its own, you know, it's a three-dimensional space with characters and motivations, and it recontextualizes so much of the original trilogy, specifically as it pertains to the fact that, you know, the Death Star, you've got to take this down. And if you didn't know why before, now you know. Here's the enemy that you're up against, and here's the weapon they're trying to build. And here's all the stuff that they've done to achieve their goals, and here's why. And here's all the stuff that was done to take them down. And, you know, it was no small sacrifice. It just so happened that Luke Skywalker showed up at the right time to fire the right blast. But he had help. He had help. They all had help. And it was all the little people, all the side characters that did the heavy lifting to get the rebellion to where it was.
And I thought, like I said, I mean, they, all in all, like I said, to round this out, man, I think it, again, I heard some people say, oh man, if Disney would have just started with Rogue One first, that would have been, well, they couldn't. Because if they started with Rogue One first, then the argument would have been, well, how is this connecting to the bigger scheme? And why are we going back telling this story when we should be expanding and going? There's always going to be that argument. But I can definitely say that literally this put me back in a frame of what Star Wars could be, what it should be, you know, and the possibilities of what it can be going forward. You know, they can continue to tell the stories that they want, but I think that now they have to come with stronger material. They have to come with stronger material. They have to basically also, you don't have to look, not everything has to be fan servicey. You can tell a bigger story, a much grander story without the Skywalkers involved. Sorry, people don't want to hear that, but tough shit. We've moved past it. Now tell different stories. But what's important about it is writing. And that's what Gilroy showed you, is that him and his brothers basically, it was a family thing, you know, that came together and did this. And it was a level, in my opinion, it was such a level of perfection. And even with the slow burns in the very beginning, it was necessary. Everything it was a necessity to tell a bigger story. Not everything's about the Force, about star fighting and all this other stuff. That's there. We've seen that. I wanted to know about occupation. I wanted to know about dictatorship. I wanted to know why I hated the Empire so much. And they proved that. They showed you why you should hate and fear at the same time because of what they're capable of. And I think they did an incredible job. So shout out to Kevin, you know, to Gilroy and his brothers and everyone who's basically involved in it. All the actors, you did a phenomenal job. Hats off to you guys. So I just definitely want to say that.
Also, sorry if I can just interject one thing.
Yeah.
How terrifying are those KX droids?
Yeah.
Like that scene when they're just marching through and just killing people left and like that was terrifying. The other thing too is, how is it that they were able to kill K2XO in Rogue One so easily with blasters when they're shooting him in the street?
The argument that I had. This is definitely, unless they basically came up with technology that we didn't know about. If they came up with just, you know, there is such thing as like back then them coming up with armor piercing. So destiny, you know, they might have, you know, it could have been that they figured it out because they might have felt as though that they were too dangerous at that time.
Yeah.
So
that's I was gonna say that did take the threat level to a whole, like, just up the ante when it came to the threat level of that scene. It was already a horrific scene. Let's face it, when the stormtrooper showed up, the average citizen has never seen a stormtrooper. The average citizen has never seen a TIE fighter. So when all these things start showing up, people are already scared. And then you have the KX Enforcer droid show up, and it's just a whole nother level of fear.
It's a whole nother level of terror. And I think, so
see the thing that we talked about, character development. There was two cut scenes that I really liked. The Force Healer with Andor. He was walking off, and there was the kind of subtle nod. Teacher that, and then something really simple. Mon Mothma's husband with the gangster's wife or partner, getting drunk. That little bit fills you with. You start to think about the effects of Mon Mothma, obviously. Going to Yavin and all that sort of stuff. So it makes you think about stuff. They didn't need to put those bits in, but that's the strength of the show.
Great storytelling.
They
great
built
writing.
so much layers. I'm just. It's a masterpiece. I love it.
Definitely. If everybody out there didn't get a chance to watch it, still on Disney Plus. It's going to be on Disney Plus probably for the rest of the viewing, my viewing life. But definitely, I mean, again, if you want to give something different a chance, and I've seen some people in the chat that say it's not their Star Wars, it just doesn't feel like Star Wars. At this particular point, I don't know I mean, here's the thing, and I respectfully say this is because it's not to call anybody out, but we live in a space where you're not going to please everybody. And I think that they know that now. And I think it's important that you realize that, but still move forward with your vision and don't be tainted and anchored by someone else's opinion of, you know, it's because it's okay. It's okay for it not to be for everybody. It's not. There's plenty of Star Wars lore and things out there that you can connect to, and that's fine. If this was boring to you or if it didn't work for you, that's completely fine. And respect to you on that. But I think that for me, again, a much older crowd, for me, being born in 73, seeing this in 77, Star Wars, when it was Star Wars on screen, and going through all of that, now I needed to see this. I needed to see Occupation, where we were right now with the Empire, because there was a lot of things that needed to be put more in perspective. We didn't feel the threat. Everything that we basically saw within the trilogy itself was through the eyes of the rebellion. This we saw through the eyes of the Empire, and everything that was actually happening, the inner workings and all of that. And we needed it. And I think that this basically has a place. They did a phenomenal job, and I welcome it. But again, it's not going to be for everybody. That's completely understandable. But even with that basically with that being said, don't be hard on the people who enjoyed it, and don't look at them from downtrodden eyes, because it just doesn't, just be civil. Anyway, let's move on, to a different space here. Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this Obi-Wan. This Obi-Wan Kenobi that was definitely released on Friday. We got the artisan and the sculpted version. I want to say this, though, and kudos and shout out to Sideshow. This was probably the best that I have ever seen your Q system work. It was seamless, in my opinion. I had no problems. Once I got through, and I had a chance to get the artisan, it was right there in my cart. But I was like, nah, I want the, you know what I mean? Me personally, I got the sculpted version. I wanted to give other people a chance who wanted the artisan to get it. I didn't need it. I wanted the sculpted the sculpted version, because it aesthetically, it matches everything else I have in my display with Padme and Anakin. It just made sense. But for those who did get a chance to get the artisan, I'm hoping that your experience wasn't that bad. And I think the way they did it was fair this time. I do want to say that. But X, were you able to get or did you go after any of these, or which one did you go for, and which one did you get?
I completely forgot about this drop, to be absolutely honest. I was normally I don't work in the office on Fridays, but I was at a function, and I looked at my clock. I'm like, it's 1:30. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I missed that. But my intention was never to get the artisan for this. I had always intended to get the sculpted for this, because I have I have Anakin, I have Padme, both of which are sculpted, and I think that the sculpted for this Kenobi is going to be fantastic. And if it saves me $130 to $135. Yeah. If I could save $135 and still have a great figure on the shelf. Now, anyone who gets this, let's face it, that hair is lustrous, and I don't know what he's used in it, but it's got great. It's got more volume, I think, than it probably did in the actual film. But his hair looks great, and yes, this is going to be a great version of Space Jesus in anyone's collection. I'm just happy that they gave us the artisan and the sculpted at the same time. It just makes all the sense in the world. If you want to spend the extra money and you want to try your hand at getting an artisan, then go for it. If either you A, forget about it and miss out, or B, you get in the queue and miss out, or C, you know about it, but you just can't step away from whatever it is you're doing to be in a certain place at a certain time to order a limited, one of a limited number of these figures, then it's not the end of the world. You will still have an Attack of the Clones Kenobi on your shelf, and you won't have what we typically have with artisans, which is, if there's not, multiple options, you will have a hole in your collection. And if you have too many holes in your collection, eventually you might opt out of the collecting game when you're like, my collection is looking a little, especially for the completionists, you're like, wow, I wish I had this character, but for whatever reason, they made 5. And, they made 5, and you could only get it if you're on the other side of the planet. And they, it just seems like an odd choice. So I love it when everyone has a chance to get this kind of thing. And I can't wait to get the sculpted version.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made sense. Ian, did you go for this at all, or what was
No, X, you said Space Jesus. I'd actually think it's like Disco Jesus. I think he's. Um, I, listen, I had previous Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan, and I got rid of, and I'm in certain areas I'm being very selective.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think Hot Toys have nailed
The
Ewan
likeness.
McGregor yet. I really don't. I think this one's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. I actually think from the photos, just from the photos, that the sculpted makes the head sculpt look better, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I'm like you guys. I actually prefer the sculpted look. Um, I am interested in it purely because of the assassin droid, the two photos
Yeah.
posing,
Yeah.
and it just seems something different from typical Jedi and lightsaber.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what's pulling me in. That goddamn assassin droid. So because I loved the poses on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely prefer um, the
Yeah.
sculpted. The body, the legs look a little bit thin. That was the other thing that was kind of sticking out to me, but I can't recall on the other Obi-Wan figures what the body type. But yeah, that assassin droid, I love that. I love the one with the lightsaber and he's holding one hand on it.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
And the seamless forearms, it's perfect for that because that would have just taken you right out of
Yeah.
posing it like that. But that's if I had that, that's exactly how that gets posed. I love that.
It's almost like I feel as though I would want like multiple seamless arm options, even him holding the
Mhm.
saber with seamless. If they could do that, I don't mind unplugging and plugging in, if as long as I
Yeah.
get the experience
Mhm.
and take away those literally, man, because sometimes I cringe when it comes to replacing hands on those wrist pegs, man. I definitely cringe, a lot when it comes to that, but
Oh,
it is what it is.
You ever try to replace a hand on a Vader on like the
Yes.
Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah, it's the worst.
I have one where the hand isn't even on. I'm just like, I just went to a point and I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? This is as good as it's going to get.
As good as
The
it's
hand is
gonna
not,
get.
it's not on, but it's as long as no
Yeah.
one jars it. I'm just like, I don't know why this is so difficult.
They definitely need to
it's
change that.
so
Like,
badass looking that. It's
yeah.
just yeah.
No, that definitely looks good. And the crazy part about it is, if you look, and we'll get to, like, if you look at the display base,
Display
it
base is great.
has Coruscant. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, he's flying through Coruscant. So if you look at from like an aerial view,
Mhm.
you'll see, Coruscant. I think that was a genius way to do it. Like, that was genius. So,
Yeah.
Rob, what you think? Did you go for this, man?
I got the sculpted. I was always
Yeah.
just gonna get the sculpted.
Yeah.
I never had any desire for the artisan, not because I think it looks bad. Just I think it looks great. I think
Yeah.
though that when you pair up, see, this is the problem when you have figures or of characters that go with other characters.
Yeah.
If they're not all following the same aesthetic, it looks
It throws it
doesn't-
off.
Yeah,
It looks
so
different.
you can't pose. Well, I mean, you can pose him however you want, but I mean, posing him for me with Padawan Anakin and Padme, both whom have sculpted hair, it'll look. I don't know. It's going to look off to me. So I was never in for the artisan. I think it looks really good. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I just aesthetically for me, I think the sculpted looks great.
Yeah.
And it actually, I think the sculpted is even a little bit poofier looking. Like this is flatter, I think.
Yeah.
the sculpt, yeah, like the artisan looks, I don't know. It looks more flat to me.
Yeah, because
Whereas-
you
yeah.
here's the thing, like, and I'm not taking away from the artisan version because I think it looks great. Because even though I got the sculpted, I think needs a little bit of work too. And I think it's the translation from I think it's the paint applications on it. The hair, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. once we get to a closer picture, a more close up on it. But yeah, so you see, like it he almost looks like, and Ian, Rose, you and Rob, you'll know where I'm going with this. It sort of looks like Max Headroom. Remember how Max Headroom's hair was?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, it sort of reminds me of Max Headroom, the way the paint application in the line, like his hairline.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that they get that a little bit better, bro. Like, the paint on that, you know what I mean? Could be, you know, Max Headroom is taking me back, bro. That's taking me back. But yeah, I
played
think
by a Canadian guy, I might add.
Yeah, right.
Matt Brewer.
Yeah, bro, definitely, man. So again, yeah, incredible piece. But I just think that they do need to work it out. But yeah, I think for what it is, you know, to finally have this, because people had been asking for this version for the longest time. They had been asking for the Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. But now that you gave us this, now you need to go back and give us the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan. Yep. Now you need to actually go and give us the Padawan Obi-Wan, because it just takes us through an entire cycle of this character, and it just makes the most sense. You know what I mean? So, but you're right though. The hair does look definitely luxurious. It does. It definitely looks luxurious. I think it looks really, really good. And I think they did a good job on it. Even I'm happy what they did with the tunic. I'm happy what they did with the robe. Like, everything just seems to kind of flow a bit better. Ian, I do agree though. Those legs look kind of skinny, but maybe it just could be, I don't know. They're more sticking towards, like, you know, a bit more articulation with him and stuff like that. I don't know. But it still looks good.
I also think sometimes maybe when they're showing these photos, the announcement photos, that they're just grabbing a body and they're putting the head sculpt.
That could be
on
true.
It.
That could be true.
And taking the photos. So yeah, like the body we get with this figure probably will be a different body, or at least will be maybe not quite
something completely different from what we had before. So
they're just trying to show off the head sculpt here, really, more than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. You definitely got a point there, man. I think definitely, like I said, there's you know, some space for improvement. But I think, I mean, that's the best part about it, is that it is earlier on. So whichever one you get, whether it's the rooted or the sculpted, you're definitely gonna get a level of perfection. It's gonna be, you know, you'll get the one that you're looking. Or if you don't like that, what'd you say?
I said, do y'all think we'll get an episode 3 Obi-Wan?
Possibly. I think we will. I think we probably will. Or there's always different options though, because you can actually get yourself the Jesus Jake version. You know what I mean? There is the Jesus.
See, I would have gotten in the queue for that. I would have definitely gotten in the queue for that version.
Jesus Jake version that's, you know what I mean, out there. Thanks to Renz Talentino for his artistry. Yeah, so you can definitely, you know, you have your options, but I definitely think we will get an episode 3 version. I think that's
the sculpted hair version, by the way, is still up on Sideshow.
Yeah, that's going to be, because I think they, you know, people exhaust. It was like, come on, man, 3,500 for, you know, the rooted version. It, and the thing is, even with that, it wasn't as bad, because a lot of people were still going for the sculpted version. So,
do we know how much what was the number on the sculpted? Do we know? Or was it the same?
I think it was like 285 or something like that. Oh, you mean the number of? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they even put a number to it, to be quite honest.
So was the Artisan the only exclusive?
Yeah.
I thought both were all exclusive. I didn't realize.
No.
Okay.
No.
Now the Cody was an exclusive, and the Airborne was an exclusive,
which made absolutely zero sense. It didn't make any sense. Like,
thanks again to Victoria's Cantina. Otherwise, I would not have gotten a Cody, because I just had no idea. They just put them on the site.
Yeah, man. Like, we'll get to that. I wanted to save that for a more disgruntled conversation a little bit later on. Like literally, bro, how they did that.
Good,
Come
good.
on, man. Like that's foolish to me. Now, even
Yeah.
though I already have a Cody, so I didn't need that one.
See, this is my
There's
first Cody, so
yeah, so for that works for you. That definitely does work for you, and I'm super glad you were able, to get your hands on it. You know, I want to talk about this, of course, while we're here. It makes the most sense too, and we are
Mhm.
talking about the Vader. Again on the table, the Vader Deluxe. Where he became more machine than man. You know what I mean? So yeah, it looks good. It definitely looks good. But I had a decision to make. This one or the Mythos. And I just gravitated to the Mythos, or I keep calling it the Mythos, the battle damage version.
It's
Be-
basically the
it's
mythos.
de- it's definitely the
It's just the
Mythos.
mythos.
It's the Mythos. You might as well call it that. But I gravitated to that more because of what I wanted out of it, and I think it looked incredible. But this looks phenomenal. And who knows, down the road, it might win me over. But for right now, yeah, I didn't, you know what I mean? I was, but it looks absolutely great. Chewy, I know when you saw this, you know what I mean? You was just like, yeah, it's a no-brainer for you, bro.
Yeah, I saw this thing and I was like, oh yeah. And Heather was instantly like, oh no.
Yeah.
But
She
yeah, no, I'm trying to put together a Vader, oh, what's the word? I'm blanking on the word.
The
Evolution.
evolution of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
The
And
true Vader.
yeah, and the Vitruvian Vader. The thing for me is, and it's funny, when I first saw this, when the photos were first put out, I wasn't sure if this was a real thing or if somebody was like, it was a mock-up that somebody had done. But yeah, this is where he really becomes Darth Vader.
yeah.
And for me to be doing any kind of a Vader evolution sort of a display that I want to do, I can't not have this.
Yeah.
This is, I forget who said it. I was watching Brother Cousin's show when he was like early in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was up, but I was watching it, and someone on his show was watching, made the point, and is actually what sold it for me, was that it's the tragedy. This is the epitome of the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker right here.
Yeah.
He started out, he was a slave. He wanted not to be a slave. He became free. He became a Jedi. But then here is where he is enslaved again.
All over again.
And
it's at its worst point.
It's so much worse. And it just, that one, whoever, I forget who said it, but whoever it was, shout out to you if you're watching. But just that alone made me, that's really what sparked it for me. I was like, okay, yeah, I have to have this. And I had a ton of reward points. So I threw those on here. I saved those for the more expensive stuff because then it really whittles things down. But I couldn't not. And it's just too important for his evolution as a character. And so that's why, yeah, absolutely 100%. This one will be mine.
Yeah, definitely, man. Ian, your thoughts on this, bro?
You're muted.
Speechless.
I put it on mute because next door neighbours, two little girls, they're constantly singing outside. So yeah, first off the bat, I'm not getting this. I think it looks fantastic. Everything about it, absolutely everything about it looks great. The head sculpt looks fantastic. But for me, I have two Darth Vaders, and that's all I need. So my logic is I've got a New Hope version, the first time we got to see him, and the more special moment for me in my childhood was when they removed the helmet. So
Yeah,
I've got that. And
that
it's
that
got
one right
Vader's
there is the
quote.
definitive version, bro.
Yeah,
That is the best
that's
Vader
that's
ever.
that's
Yeah.
my favourite Vader. So I've got first time you see him and that iconic moment. And that's so no matter what they bring out on Vader, I get why everybody would want all these versions. I do, but this will take up some real estate, you know,
Yeah.
to pose it properly. I think.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm not talking it down. I just, you know, I've got my two Vaders that
You got
I've
what
always
you want.
wanted,
Yeah.
and that suits me. You know, the way I look at it is there's more space then for a different character in this
Yeah.
IP, and
Yeah.
I think you've got to look at that when you get to a certain point of having so many figures. What I found as well with me, because I kind of trimmed my Spider-Man stuff down a bit, I was losing mind share of seeing the same character. Now, I take Luke Skywalker out of it because he's got such vastly different outfits, so it looks different. Vader, yes, we know that there's differences, but if I see 10 Vaders, the way I look at my collection, not anybody else's, I start to lose mind share. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's all a bit same.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But
Yeah.
this is great. I'm so happy for people who are going to get this iconic
Yeah.
moment. And it looks,
Yeah.
I really like the head sculpt on it. It's really
The
good.
head sculpt is phenomenal, man. I mean, I think it's so painfully phenomenal too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's exactly it. You can just tell how much
It
pain
looks like it
he's
hurts.
in.
yeah, bro, but because it was like, yo, straight from slab to suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no BAFTA. He didn't get a BAFTA tank. Nope. Let's just put him right here, put him in a suit.
Make
and
him
that's
angry.
it. Yeah.
Make him
You know
as
what I
angry as
mean?
he can be.
Exactly, which was Palpatine's, you know what I mean, mission at that particular point. You know, until we saw Vader on Mustafar, we got a chance. I love seeing that he had his own castle. He had a BAFTA tank where he's trying to heal, you know, and I know how I can only imagine how good that felt being in that. But he was constantly in that tank. You know what I mean?
Well, it was the only way he could sleep.
Exactly.
Because he couldn't actually, his actual breathing apparatus kept him awake. So the only way he could sleep was in a BAFTA tank.
A BAFTA tank. Yep. Definitely. And those BAFTA tanks ain't cheap. So you already know. X, man, did you pre-order this?
I have not yet, but I will be hitting up Underground to pre-order this particular. This will be my last Darth Vader. This will be the last one. I don't know if you can see, but there's one. And there's one. And there's one. And there's one over there. This will be the very last Darth Vader, and I'm going to pair this up with that Ultimate Palpatine that they announced earlier, because that comes with 2 head sculpts and that dark robe.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to display Chancellor Palpatine regular, and then I'm going to get another body and display the Sidious face and dark robe, and have that paired with this.
Yes.
So that he's standing, you know, near the table as the, you know, as he's being put together. I saw this fantastic, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Yak Face, but I saw this fantastic meme that he put together where it's, you know, Vader on the table and he's talking to Palpatine, and he's saying, he's like, what did he say? He said, "Where's my wallet? Is it safe? Is it all right?" And I'm like, oh, I wish I thought of that. It was just
That's great.
Where is my wallet? Is it safe?
Funny.
It was just clear.
All right?
It was just clear.
Yeah.
It was perfectly clear, and it made the most sense. Yep.
But I was so happy that this that they actually followed through on this, because this particular moment, I remember, you know, the anticipation leading up to the prequels. I remember Senior Skip Day, going to see Phantom Menace. I remember, you know, the years in between the films, you know, being, and after Attack of the Clones, being able to watch like the Tartakovsky short, you know, animated, which that's some great animation.
Those were great.
And then, you know, in 2005, seeing Revenge of the Sith with the promise that we were finally going to see Vader become Vader.
Yeah.
And it was that moment that was years of buildup, about 6 years of buildup.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a moment that paid off. I think it paid off really, really well, from the lightsabers, from what he did, from the moment he chopped off Mace Windu's arm to the moment he, was lying, burning on the shores of Mustafar. And then,
green, bro.
I mean, just
yeah.
it's just tragic all around, absolutely tragic all around. But then when that mask locks into place and he takes his first breath, that was the moment that we were all waiting to see, because we'd always heard about it, we just never got to see it. And this was the same film that gave us Order 66, which again, something we did not know was coming. And when we saw it, we're like, oh no. So many iconic moments from this film. And I do collect the live action film Vaders, and I have 4, 5, and 6, and the Kenobi Vader. So this right here is the last Vader I will add to the collection.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know what, it would have made the final scene even better, bro? Is as Obi-Wan was walking away, saw a butt naked tattoo dude just running. And Mustafar with his towel burning, bro, like with people.
Revenge of the Sith special edition. With a few new surprises.
Ian, I'm never letting you live that down, bro. Sorry.
Listen, I'm maybe thinking that they made a mistake in the casting of Sinners. Instead of that Irish guy, could have had the Scottish guy. Great. And I would have rocked up to the Duke, not with a banjo, but my bagpipes.
That would have been incredible, bro.
I'm just imagining you singing "We Pick Poor Robin Clean," but with bagpipes. Poor Robin Clean.
Oh my God!
Picked his head, and picked his feet. Would have picked his body, but it wasn't fit to eat. Hear tale of a party.
Oh my God!
Food, drank, and the like.
Oh my God, bro! If they did that, I guess I could just imagine Ian playing a bagpipe, bro.
Rians, where are you? We got to make this happen.
Lens, get on it. Get on it,
bro. But see, the problem was it would take the seriousness from that, because Ian.
And then they're like, "Sir, you can't come in." It's like, he'd be like, "Is it because I'm Scottish? Is it?" He'd like point to his kilt. "Is it because of this? Is it? It's." Can't we all just get along for one night? Can we all just?
Wow. Anyway.
He's like, "We'll go, but we'll walk real slow," and he'll just be playing the bagpipes as he's walking away.
That's funny.
Oh my
man.
God!
But nah, this is incredible. Nah, it definitely is an incredible piece. But again, having 6 Vaders, one on the way. No.
I mean, what's one more?
You know what I mean? Hence why I even passed up on the Hano Studios version as well.
Yeah.
It's just too much, bro. Like there's just way too much, and I'm running out of space.
Too much, too close together, right? Because we didn't have the Mythos Vader in hand. It would be one thing if they delivered it already, but instead, it's like, well, you haven't shipped that yet, and then now people have the option of this as well. And I get it. There are some issues with shipping and whatnot that are beyond Hot Toys, control. But it does seem like between the Darth Vader, which was artisan Darth Vader, the Hano Darth Vader, this Darth Vader,
the saber
Darth
effect.
Vader.
Remember the saber effect?
Exactly. That one is like, okay, how I get it.
You're going in on a lot of Vader.
He's the new Iron Man. I get it. That's cool.
I'm kind of like, I'm the same way that you are, Chris. It's like this will be my last Vader. I don't need another. Like I've got after this, I'll have 6. I think.
Yeah,
Like that's enough.
That's a lot of Vader.
That's a lot of Vaders. I mean, for what
I
I
heard-
want to do, it works.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if it wasn't for the fact that I have a plan, I might not do this just because it's pricey. But you know,
somebody I saw a picture. I gotta find it on Instagram. I'm gonna show it to y'all in the group, but it was a dope ass picture of something that I would have wanted to see on screen, Ian. And that was Vader walking in front of 2 range troopers flanking him
oh yeah,
in the snow. I was like, oh my
yeah,
God.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah.
It's something that I would have wanted to see on screen.
yeah.
People don't, Ian, these motherfuckers don't understand how dope that range trooper really
Oh,
is.
I love the range troop.
it's
It is the most beautiful trooper I have ever seen. Like, it is. Everything about it aesthetically works. And when you got 2, man, it just brings everything to life. I love it. I'm so tempted to do something like that my damn self with Vader, because I know how I felt about the, seeing Empire for the very first time and see the snow troopers there.
Snow troopers, yeah.
Like, fuck, those troopers were incredible. You know what I mean? And I loved them then. And then when you get the range troopers, like almost an enhancement. So
you got less than 5 days to get it on Sideshow.
Oh, that's right.
If you want the limited time release. I don't know if you get do you get the boots after that or no?
You get I don't think you get those boots after that, bro. There's
Okay.
That's what it is.
4 days and 22 hours if you want those boots, and those boots are made for walking.
See, I've mentioned it before though, but it's not the same.
It's a little that much.
The color is different. The color is definitely different.
The fur looks a little dirtier.
It's more like Mud Trooper.
It does look like a little bit dustier.
Yeah. I got one. I picked one up, or pre-ordered one because I want 2, and I couldn't get 2 of the other one. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, no, this will be my second one, and the fact that he comes with that big ass, what is it, rocket launcher?
Oh yeah.
So I'll have one with the rocket launcher and one without the rocket launcher. But now this Vader, I mean, the fact that I have all the Vaders, and you can see there are changes between every film. His suit changes, his helmet changes. I actually have the EFX Vader helmet, which is cast from the original A New Hope mold, and I love it because it's so asymmetrical. Because they literally, that thing is handmade. They handmade the A New Hope helmet, and it is so asymmetrical. It is, the whole film was held together with duct tape and hope. But the fact that all through every film, his armor changes, the chest armor changes, the helmet
changes, evolution,
the gauntlets change, and this they actually did a symmetrical helmet, which is weird.
MMS 700, the one on the left. What version is that?
That's Return of the Jedi.
That's Return.
Is that the Return of the Jedi one?
Oh, okay. That's the one.
That's the one with the Sebastian Shaw.
I think it is.
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the one. That's definitely the one.
But you can see how much longer his gloves are.
Yeah.
See the gauntlet.
But each suit in every film changed. You know what I mean? So there was a change to the suit, the way he actually had the tunic. Everything actually changed. So, with this a bit thinner, you can see why it was a much younger version. So it's to be expected. I mean, and I think with this one, now the way they did the gloves on this one seems to be better. But even still, I mean, that looks good. Look at that. That looks incredible.
I love that cape.
It comes with 2 capes.
He does
a wired cape and a non-wired cape, so you can pose it. Yeah. So you can pose it if he's on the gurney or on the table. You can use the non-wired one, but if you want to do some dynamic poses like that, you just use the wired.
Oh wow! See, I didn't know he did that.
I'm probably gonna give the wired cape to one of my other Vaders, probably my Kenobi Vader.
That head sculpt is phenomenal, bro. That is.
God, it just looks so painful.
It does, man.
Like, it hurts so much.
Like, that looks so painful, charred and painful, like straight up. Like, but you can also see the hatred there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So much hatred in that. But that looks perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely getting this. The table and everything. I will find space. I have space. I will make space. And it comes out next year. So by next year, there will be more cases. And
we'll have more
just take up 2 rows, but that's okay. That's okay.
Definitely. Nah, it looks good, man. Special edition, exclusive, Revenge of the Sith. What is these anniversary commemoration metal plaques? I can't stop believing this, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, will they ever make this again? Is the question.
I know.
Probably
I know.
not.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably
Or if they do make it, you're not going to get the table. So
Exactly. Moving on here. X would come to this particular space where we talk about this Cody and how they did this, which
execute
to me,
pre-order 66.
it was some absolute bullshit the way they let's execute order bullshit, because that's exactly what they did, bro.
If I had missed out on this
Yeah.
and found out after the fact, I would have been livid.
Yeah. I can imagine, bro. Like, you know, I managed, you know, shout out to Ray at Hawkworth Toys, who I managed to he you know, got me a you know, the Airborne Trooper. But that's, you know, pretty much all, you know, I needed, because I have Cody already. The only difference between this Cody and the one that I actually have is the simple fact that you get the phase 1, phase 2 helmets. I really don't care about that. You know what I mean? I have the one that I got.
Makes it exclusive?
I think so.
I think so. Almost that's why they probably slapped an exclusive tag on this.
Yeah,
because the head sculpt is not different from the original.
Everything else is exactly the same.
Everything is exactly the same. You know what I mean? From maybe a few added holograms, the phase 1, phase 2 helmet. You know what I mean? Like that. But other than, even down to the arm, the separation of the arm is the same way. The gauntlet is the same way. So it's nothing different, nothing that I basically think warranted an exclusive tag on this.
No,
like
they
played
at least have like USB the hand. You know, that instead it's still button cell batteries. But if they'd done a USB for the hands, that would have been. I'm gonna have to go to Fusion Reactor and get that squared away, because that's a big draw of this character. But yeah, you're right. They just gave it an extra helmet and went, we're gonna cure 3,000. Now they did sell 6,000. They managed to sell 6,000 figures. 6,000 figures in what, an hour-ish?
Hour, something like that.
So I could see why they're like, hey, check this out. We made 3, but they could have made more than 3,000 of these.
They could have sold
more than 3,000.
They definitely could have, man. Like they could have, but they didn't. But I mean, look, I can't complain. My complaint is really, you know, my complaint was more towards how they did the Airborne Trooper than this. But it was, I think that there was, come on, man. Like, if you've already released a code, do you know when they released that first Cody, it did sit for a little bit, but then it sold out. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just
see if they just given this a window. Just give it a window, a pre-order window of, hey, do you want this Cody or not? Great, you have 30 days or 20 days.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And sell as many Codys as you already have the mold.
Yeah. It's a straight up re-release is what it is. I mean, there's no reason why they needed to, if they wanted to do it in such a way that they wanted to tag it was an exclusive, then just like do it the same way they're doing the second range trooper. Just put a date. You've got this date and that's it.
That's true. That's true.
But they didn't tell anybody. That's the thing. If it wasn't for Victoria's Cantina, I would not have known that they just went, oh yeah, here it is. It's like,
I was lucky enough to spot it when it dropped, so I grabbed it because I don't have the first version of it. So I was happy to see this, because Cody, before this came out, or before this was announced or came up on the website, Cody was going for stupid money on
yeah.
And so I was happy to see this. But so I grabbed this and I grabbed an Airborne Trooper and I was happy as a clam.
Yeah, see, I have them. The only thing I grabbed was the Airborne Trooper. That's the one I'm kind of pissed at, because they shouldn't have.
I wanted 2. I would have got 2.
Yeah, that was kind of sheer stupidity on that one. Ian, what's your thoughts, man? Did you? I know you.
Somebody's at the door. I'll be back 2 minutes.
Oh, go ahead. Do what you got to do, man. But they could have. Yeah. I mean,
I'm glad they're giving us another kick at the can but at the same time, the issue for me, it's like the same as you, Lael. It's like, why is this an exclusive?
You know, why do they keep slapping it? The thing is, it's like now they're getting exclusive happy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they are really, really, really getting exclusive happy with these pieces, and I'm like, man, does it have to be that way? You know,
This shouldn't be
honestly.
like clone should never be an exclusive.
No.
It's a
No,
clone by
no,
definition. There's only one Commander Cody, but still, it's if
Troops
you're
in
army
general, I think,
building.
especially
yeah,
when the ones that don't have head sculpts, the ones that are just in
mhm,
helmets,
yeah,
there's no reason for exclusivity there. And when you do that, unless they're trying to make the secondary market a bigger thing, but then if they goose up the value, outside of there, and then they release another one later down the road, and then people jump on it because
yeah.
maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
hard.
know. It just, to me, it's money on the table.
Yeah.
That you're leaving, and in that case, it just doesn't make any sense. But to each their own.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. This right here, man, the Airborne Trooper, I think is brilliant. It's incredible. One that we should have had a long time ago. I don't know what the hold up, especially with it not having a head sculpt. Like, come on, man. Like, really? This is what we doing now?
Oh, that looks so good.
I know.
Yeah, it looks incredible. To have it next to, Cody is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put him down there with my display because I have Cody with Obi-Wan. So yeah, it definitely looks incredible. Finally, it took them so long after it's how many years of teasing it. You know what I mean?
That was in purgatory back in, I think it was like 2018,
2019. Yeah, it's been back in purgatory for a minute.
It's been 7 years.
Yeah,
7 years.
Yeah,
sure.
It definitely has. So it just doesn't make any type of sense. But we got them now. So but I know a lot of people are going to be pissed because they couldn't get their hands on it. You know what I mean? The way they definitely wanted to. So we got a $10 super bomb, but my man Moose, he said, by the way, I blame my Boston brother Press X for enabling me to buy 2 dewbacks. A few streams ago, he presented his dewback like he found a cuddly rescue pup. You did do that, bro.
I love that dewback.
You did
so flipping.
You did do that, bro. He
You
is
were,
right.
like,
You did
cuddling
do that, bro. You were cuddling that jaw, bro. So you did do that, bro. So
it makes me so happy every time I look at it. It makes me so happy, and the fact that Moose, you have 2 of them. So I hope you have the space because it's a chunky boy, to say the very least.
Damn box right here. Where's it at?
The box is huge.
That box right there, man. Like, I'm gonna have to take everything out of my Spider-Man display and put it there. Like, I'm literally gonna probably have to do that and kind of maneuver some things around. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll figure it out. But it just definitely makes the most sense. But
I'm on the wait list for one of those.
Oh,
so
really?
hopefully it converts. I'm hoping
it's incredible.
Underground will get some more.
I don't know. Hit him up. He'll probably he may.
I was telling Moose, I'm like, I want to build a Costa case, get some sand, and then some Jawas, Tusken Raiders. Before you know it, I'm gonna have this great Tatooine display going.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, I have the Sand Trooper. I got the Sand Trooper on its own, and I was waffling on about the dewback, and I thought I had time. And then I checked it one day, and I saw join the wait list, and I was like, oh, because I was going to get the dewback that came with another the Sand Trooper Sergeant, the 2-pack, and then I just ran out of time. So
the one that Sideshow did went for stupid money, and then Hot Toys is like, check out ours, and so that's when I was just like, okay, this is probably going to be one of my only shots for a hot minute.
Yeah, the Sideshow one was really expensive.
Yeah, definitely had to. Ian, what do you think about the Airborne Trooper, man?
Oh, this is something that I don't collect, but when I saw it, this looks really good. If I was collecting these troopers, I would be all in on this. I just love the armory that's on it. It's great weathering. I know some people are not so keen on the helmet. I think everything on this looks fantastic.
I love that helmet.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's the same helmet as the original Purge Trooper. Painted different.
Yeah, it definitely looks
Yeah.
good. I think it's incredible, man.
Yeah, it looks badass.
yeah.
It really
Yeah, it
does.
does. Like I couldn't. I don't know why I keep thinking about the whole Ian at the juke joint shit. That shit's fucking funny. That is hilarious, bro. Fucking X, bro. You just put that shit.
Pick
Anyway.
pour out it clean.
Yeah, bro.
Rocking up with a bottle of Scotch
What a-
whiskey. Come on.
Bro, that shit is fucking hilarious.
Playing
man.
that song, but on the bagpipes. Pick pour out it clean.
That's the part. That's funny, bro. Like, because Ian would do some shit like that. If Ryan Cooley went up to Ian and said, "Would you?" Oh yes, no problem.
Absolutely.
Doing no.
Although to be fair, Ryan
when
Coogler
you want
came
me
up to
to
me and
show
said,
up?
"Chris, would you?" I'd be like, "Yes."
Lucy
I'll
would
do
be
anything,
like-
Ryan.
My sister would be like, "Damn."
Do you mind, Ryan? Do you mind if I do it naked? I'll take my kilt off.
And at that moment in the script, it'll say, "A strong gust of wind came by." And
Yo.
the man's kilt was all over the place, except for where it should be.
Funny. Too funny. I want to move on to this one. I'm going to get to those droids. I'll come back to that because I want to get to this though because I want to kind of segue to this. This is the BVS Batman that actually dropped. Again, if you didn't get a chance to get the first one, this is the 2.0 that they did. Now I heard a lot of people saying that they were disappointed in the sculpt, and I'm like, well, how? Like that's Ben Affleck, bro. Like that's him.
That last pose was a little weird, though. I will admit.
What, this one?
No, the one before it. The one before it was very come hither.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay, interesting. Getting crotch feelings from this.
Yeah, this one, but it looks just like him, bro. Like,
That one though is pretty fantastic, I will say.
like I'm trying to figure like where.
I don't get it as well, Will. I think the head sculpt look it's maybe a slight drop off from the prototype from memory, but it looks. Listen, this is Ben Affleck, so I didn't pre-order this, but I've managed to. I didn't get the deluxe because I've got no need for those dioramas, but.
He said he doesn't look J-Lo depressed enough. Yo, that's incredible. That's funny.
But I think he was a great Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I
really
loved him
liked
too. I thought he was
Yeah.
great.
And
I didn't expect to, but I did.
this is one of my favourite suits. I really, really like this. So yeah, I've picked this up. Can't wait to get it. I'm just hoping that they've sorted out the material for the suit though.
Yeah, bro. Because here's the thing, and I said this before, like this piece of shit, like literally, bro. And I paid money for it. And look at the suit, bro. Like, look, you see that?
No.
Damn.
You see that? Like around the knees, everything is it, bro. They need to improve on that suit because it peels terribly. Like it peels even under like comfortable temperature and stuff like that. But yes, definitely, man. I think because in year, and this is coming from somebody who doesn't have, and I wanted the BVS suit, but I got too late, and to see this one drop, like, look at
that.
Come on, bro.
That looks like that still they took from the for the
Exactly
movie.
like it.
That's Affleck. That doesn't even look like a toy.
Exactly like it, bro.
Yep.
It looks phenomenal.
It's awesome. I really love this figure. So
Yeah,
can't wait.
it looks. I cannot wait, bro. Like it looks phenomenal to have this, and if you have the BVS Superman, if whoever actually got a chance to get that one as well from InArt, this I think it looks incredible. I definitely think it looks good. The sculpt is on point. The suit is on point. Of course, you get better articulation with it. The cape. I love it. I definitely love this. X, were you going for this, or are you passing on it, man?
I passed on it because I was hoping you would get it and then give me the one that you have. Because I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, I did pass on this one. There was just too much coming out at the time. But now that I see it, I'm saddened because I didn't get it because it did turn out really, really, really well. And for the people that are the naysayers on this, and they're like, "Well, just wait until InArt does theirs." You could wait.
Yeah.
I'm sure eventually they'll get
Eventually
to it.
they'll get around to it, man. But
You know, it's just I don't know what's going to happen a year from now. I don't know what's going to happen to me 2 years from now. Would I rather have this now, or would I rather wait? Take your chances.
yeah.
Which
I
is it
think
going to be?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it looks good, and so glad to have it. This pose right here reminds me of that warehouse scene,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
absolutely.
Like this is the warehouse scene. That's what it definitely reminds me of, and I think it looks good. So I cannot wait to find. It was one of the ones that I actually paid off through Underground. So once it drops, I think it looks good. I think it's a phenomenal piece. Naysayers, man, I don't know what else you want from it, but yeah, I think it looks good. I definitely think it looks good.
Sculpt's
Yeah,
Sculpt's really good. Like,
it
once I've
is,
seen some
bro.
videos, the sculpt's really good.
It is really good. And remember, like, now for those out there who have the Flash Batman with the Bat Cycle, remember they were telling you that the replacements on the faceplate you can use is this one.
Yeah.
So you can swap out these for that one if you have it, and it would make sense. So
Now,
it's
technically,
wonderful.
you shouldn't have to do that.
No,
Technically,
you shouldn't.
But the fact that you can, you're going to have two solid
Yeah,
Batmans, and if you
yeah,
got that bike as well, you're going to
yeah.
have
Oh
you got a
yeah,
lot of good stuff on
yeah,
going on. So
yeah.
kudos to anyone who
Bro, you said that like
got
a
that.
true teacher, professor. He was like, technically, you shouldn't have to do that.
Technically, that is bullshit. If I may. Bullshit, and here's why.
Yeah.
You should not have to do that. But here we are. Here we are.
Yeah. In my opinion, just like technically, I think this as an exclusive is some bullshit too. But hey, it is what it is, man. They're gonna do them, and that's just the way it is. Like, look, first of all, you give us a Chopper. You mind you, I have Chopper, and I needed to have a Chopper. Especially with Hera coming soon and Sabine and all that. It's the Ghost crew, so that just made the most sense. But then you basically, now this did happen. We know that this did definitely happen on Rebels. So, I'm not being dismissive of that. But did we need it, X? Did we need this right now? Considering the simple fact that they still have the original sitting up on the site that hasn't sold out yet. Did we need this as an exclusive?
When I think of exclusives, this is what I think of when I think of exclusive, and that you don't necessarily need it. It's a nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of Imperial Astromechs, and if I had Chopper just kind of hanging out in the back, because this is what he did in Rebels when he was trying to blend in, he was, trying to infiltrate, Imperial places. They would dress him up like, paint him up like Sabine would paint him up like an Imperial droid, and he'd go in there and he'd tear shit up. So this is actually, I think, the perfect exclusive because it's not a Commander Cody. It's not a Commander Cody. It's not an Anakin Skywalker. This is a variant of Chopper. And the fact that it comes with 3 droids, a mouse droid, this BD-1, and it comes with Chopper, and it's $235. And the fact that the regular Chopper is $245.
Yeah.
Well, that is interesting because it makes me think that the original Chopper may be a little overpriced, just a little bit for what we're getting us. $245 is a bit high for a droid. It is for an astromech. It's just a bit high. It's a bit high for me. I don't even have the original Chopper. It's because I'm trying to rationalize $245. I love Chopper.
Yeah.
But $245, I'm like, that's a little too high.
That's a little bit too high for a droid that isn't die cast. Number one, it doesn't have any type of light up features on it. Like it's just a regular type of thing. And the thing I think that pisses me off more about this is the BD-1, because you keep teasing BD-1, but you're not giving us Cal Kestis at all. Like you're not giving us a Cal Kestis.
It's like a dancing around Cal Kestis. They gave us the Purge Trooper. Remember that Purge Trooper that they made an exclusive? Yeah. Remember that? Yeah, I remember that. And Pepper Charm also remembers. I remember that. The multiple BD-1s that we currently have.
Yep.
The fact that the KX and 40 droids were also in, Fallen Order. It's like we're skirting around this thing.
You're
Just-
skirting around the obvious.
Oh, we
Yeah.
also got the Scout Trooper Commander, which is from Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
you're doing everything except for this one video game character, and I think they will do it. I really do. And
Yeah.
if they do, then I will definitely buy
Yeah,
it
it makes
because those
sense.
games are fantastic. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a great exclusive because you don't need it.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And yeah, it's definitely not one that you need, but they put it out as an exclusive, and I think it's still available, isn't it?
It is still available, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when it comes to exclusives, you got to think about this. To be like, well, do we need to do this, or should we do this? Is it a waste of money? Is it going to end up like the Iron Man hologram? And yeah, we got to really think about that because you could have basically wisely taken the money that you spent on doing these and put more into like those dark side Anakins or the Darth Vader. You know what I mean? You could have did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this isn't making any sense. I don't know why you did this, but you know, it is what it is, man.
If I had to guess, they have a ton of choppers just sitting around.
Probably.
They have a ton of
Sideshow
choppers.
certainly does.
They have a ton of choppers.
Oh,
I just
wow.
wonder what they're going to do with the what's the one with 000? The
BD1. Or no,
Is it-
what's his
name?
B2.
Either way, it was the companion piece to 000.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, Rins.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Right.
But it works. It works so well in this shot.
It
does work.
does.
That is,
This has got to
that's
be
funny.
one of his best. This has
Oh.
definitely got to be one of his best. It works.
Oh.
Renz, I need that photo. I love that.
Oh my god.
Oh
That-
man.
That's taken from. I think I was in. Where was I? I was in Florida. That photo that he snapped that from. But yeah,
Yo, he is so quick.
He's
He
fast.
does this so quick, man. Like, wow.
That is some talent there.
It is. It's definitely some talent.
God.
we got a question. I got a question out here in the chat. A very interesting one too. Thank you for this, 66 grand. He said, random thought. Shouldn't there be Sith eyes on the new Vader? No,
No.
because that wasn't the way it was
Mm.
in that scene. It was his eyes. It was his regular eyes at that point. In the scene, which is crazy because we did see the Sith eyes. We saw the Sith presence on Mustafar after he slaughtered, you know, the Separatists, you know, at that time, or the you know what I mean. He turned for a brief moment. We saw his eyes then, but then it just went back to normal.
His eyes have never been permanently yellow. They were
only
yeah.
that way, and when we seen was the little flashback on Ahsoka when he
right.
made the
You see
transition.
the crack open in this.
But they weren't permanent, and the way they explained it, even the way Filoni explained it was a teetering between the dark side and the light side. The reason why he never went full,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and even why he hid itself. Now his eyes were burnt to all this shit, but yeah, but blue in the scene, yeah. So definitely, but thank you for that question, man. Like it's important for people to know, man. So definitely,
It would be nice though if you can swap out the eyes.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing you
would.
can swap out the eyes.
Yeah, you could do that. You know, technically you can, and it would make the most sense to do so.
Which would be pretty insidious if you had him on the table, burnt up, and he had Sith eyes. That would be pretty creepy.
You know what? You bring up a point here. You just said something, and I'm like, yo, the way they get these names, like you said, Insidious, and then we have Darth Sidious.
Darth Sidious.
You know what I mean? And we have, you know, Nihilus. You know, we have like those
Plagueis.
names. Plagueis.
Tyrannus.
Yeah. Tyrannus. Yeah. You know what I
Maul.
mean? Maul, Darth Maul. You know, Vader, like all these names are so synonymous to things that are just extremely evil. You know what I mean? So
When he's lying on the table and they're putting the armor on him, he looks scared. Like the
he
look on his
does.
face
He looks
is
petrified.
he's in pain and he's scared.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, I think it looks better that way. I wouldn't I don't think I would even want to have the yellow Sith eyes.
Yeah,
for this.
yeah. It's thin because like you can see, because even around the eyes you can see the red.
Yeah.
You know, and that red is just, it could just be the bloodshot of like just the smoke, the flames, and stuff like that. He's had the injuries he's basically dealt with.
Because that's almost like watering, you know, where it's just like they just because they were like burnt, like super irritated from all the ash and smoke.
Oh yeah,
and heat. So they would just be constantly watering.
A lot of sulfur.
Yeah. So again, painful as all get. You know what allergies feel like. This is imagine what his eyes feel like. With again.
Trust me, I know. I'm dealing with that shit right now. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much what we got for the week. This Ian picture's fucking gold, bro. This is gold.
Well, we got a sneak peek of that Tumblr.
Yeah, we did get a sneak. Speaking of which, because we are going to, I'm gonna be doing a show with Yoast on Friday, so we're gonna definitely do a release of. Well, I gotta show this too. Ren sent this to me. Look what somebody did. Oh, that looks fucking amazing, man. Oh, that looks amazing. That Supergirl with the black suit. I gotta show you this real quick. It's a video he sent me earlier. But look how good this looks, bro. Like
what?
Yeah, it's the Supergirl. Oops.
Oh wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Somebody basically painted it black and silver. Like that is phenomenal. So I had thought about doing that, but I was like, I don't know. I definitely don't know if I was going to do something like that. But
you had to.
That'd be so cool. Henry Cavill black suit.
Yeah, it would look good definitely next to the Cavill black suit because I do have that one as well.
Yeah.
So that definitely will look good next to it. But yeah, man, we're definitely going to be doing, and if you haven't actually seen this yet, yes, there will be a show on Friday. It's going to be, now this is a pre-order release for all three. So this is basically for the Batman animated series. Batman, the Penguin, and the Tumblr are all going up the same day. So I hope people are. Yeah, so it's going up the same.
Remember DC?
Yeah.
Enough of the Star Wars stuff. Remember DC and Batman, the other amazing thing out there?
Oh, God.
This is going up the same day. So I know it's going to be a lot of broke folk out there
that animated Batman turned out so well.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. So it's going to be interesting to see, what people do and if they're going to, because the Tumblr looks good and it's true to scale and it's metal, it's die cast. Like he's going all out with that piece. Now I have the Sideshow Tumblr. I already told myself that as far as vehicles, I'm stopping at the Batmobile because that it's just I can't. I just really can't. But I know X is looking at space trying to figure out if
I am actually my 89. I'm like, where can I put a Tumblr?
I just saw it. I saw those eyes go up. I was like, yeah, he's looking at space.
The DeLorean's gonna go over there. The Tumblr go over here. Yeah, I can make that work.
Yeah. So definitely it's going to be a lot going on Friday. It's going to be Friday 12:15 noon Eastern. We'll be actually doing it. So definitely be there. You'll be there as well too, X. So that'd be fun. To have that conversation with him and just kind of pick his brain. He's going to have some things to show us and upcoming things. He always talks about it, so it's going to be a great show. So tune in for that. We'll go into that like more so in detail. But the Tumblr looks great. The sneak peek on that he showed. The Batman animated series, the Penguin. I know a lot of people are really, really focused in on that Penguin.
Yes,
Ian, are you getting that Penguin, man?
Yeah, I actually had an email with the Yoast because I said that I've got the Eternal Toys one, but
Yeah.
I'm getting this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean he's an ugly little son of a bitch, but that's a
Yeah.
must. That's a must-have for me. So.
It's definitely going to be a must for a lot of people, man.
Need that mayor
So,
version, and some
mhm.
penguin commandos, because those penguin commandos look really, really good.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I still in my space. This is like I don't know.
Lael,
I don't know,
burn,
bro.
baby, burn. Let's do this.
I don't know, man.
The
I
fact
don't know.
it's licensed Danny DeVito. Penguin.
Yeah, I know that he finally did, which was crazy because I was like under the impression that Danny was like, I'm not doing it anymore. So that's interesting that he actually did it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. As of right now, we'll see. Once we get closer, it's something to talk about, but we'll see, what happens then. But anyway, man, hey, everybody, thank you for being here. And actually just being patient with me getting through this, man, because it's everything right here is killing me. But definitely thank you so much. Chewy, man, congratulations to your team, man, and where you're at right now. So what you got going on, man? What you gonna be doing today?
Well, yeah, today, game 7 tonight. So I'll be there. And hopefully sets us up for round 3, which will start next week. But other than that, yeah, I'm just kind of getting sort of ready for the hoopla that's coming. But in the meantime, I've got episode 8 of 6 Scale Archaeology ready to go. I just haven't uploaded it yet.
Okay.
Episode 9 is
Okay.
almost finished editing.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to do episode 10. I'm going to shoot episode 10 tomorrow. I'm going to try and drop them all close to each other just so that they're all up.
Okay.
But yeah, and my episode 10 is going to be interesting because it sort of goes against the title of the series, but
got you.
It's a grail in the sense that it goes with that. So
it's still a grail, bro. Hey, if certain grails can appear in Andor, then everything's fair game, bro. So
grails are grails, and everyone loves grails, and that's what that series is about.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
it, bro.
And then after that, then I'm thinking later on, maybe in the next couple of weeks, I'll speak to you about it. I'll speak to all you guys about it, but I want to do my first live stream.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let me know, man.
I'll set that up and I'll get the word out and keep you guys informed. But
let me know. Let me know, man. I'm ready. Make sure that everybody watches it out there. You've already subscribed, because it's there, man. So make sure you do so. But always.
Thanks for having me again. And this is my favorite way to spend my Sunday. Much better than prepping a bar.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for being here as always, man. Ian, man, what's going on, bro? What you got going down?
Oh well, I'm going to get the bagpipes out and practice them.
Bro, that. Yeah.
Big pour out the queen. I picked his feet.
Bro, that's funny.
No, so nothing much for me. Hope show tomorrow, and then I think I've got a few cinema visits coming up that I'm looking forward to. So so quite quiet. I'm not traveling just now, so that's great. Quiet, but hey, thanks for having me.
As always, bro. Definitely much appreciated.
Having a laugh. So
oh man, damn. Y'all are silly, bro. Like straight up, man. But definitely thank you for being here as always. And last but not least, X, man, what's going on with you, bro?
Oh, living the dream.
Hey, and happy early birthday, by the way. Everybody out there, say happy early birthday to X. Tomorrow's his birthday, so there'll be pretty a lot of birthday wishes to go around, but you get an early start today.
Yeah, thank you. Happy 60th birthday.
Oh, depends on the day. Get up out of bed, you're like, yeah. Next day, you're like, why? No, I'm enjoying getting older. I was actually at lunch breakfast earlier today. I was walking back, and this woman was driving by, and she catcalled me. I was just like, whoa, okay, yeah, still got it. This is
Yeah.
still got it. The ladies love me, which is not doing me any favors, but hey, that's cool. That works. Sure, why not? Take it where I can get it. But no, thanks so much for having me. It's been great talking some plastic, and so much to look forward to. I'm very much looking forward to this coming week. Speaking of cinema, of course, last week I saw Final Destination Bloodlines, and that was
it good, bro?
It was a hoot and a holler. I loved it. I saw it in IMAX, and it was a great time. I really loved it. It was, I believe, Tony Todd's last film.
His very last,
Which it was really nice seeing him in that film. And I mean, he's a big part of Final Destination. He's a big part of cinema and especially horror. The man just did some amazing work. Loved him in Night of the Living Dead, the remake. Candyman, of course, but Night of the Living Dead, the remake, was the first time I laid eyes on him, and loved him ever since. Wednesday, of course, is Say What. So Say What on Cheeks Day. And then Best of the Best on Thursday. I'll also be seeing Bring Her Back on Thursday.
Oh, I want to see that.
At the cinema. So I'm looking forward to that. I hear really, really good things about that film.
Okay.
And I love me some horror. So And then are we doing Uncivilized?
Yes, we will
Thursday?
be.
So
Yes,
Uncivilized on Thursday, and then Friday we'll get to sit down. I'll
talk
be
to
there
Yost.
with talking to Yost about Batman. What kind of a world do we live in where a man dressed as a bat gets this much attention?
Hey, it's a crazy world. Just definitely, man, appreciate you, man. Thank you for being there as always, man.
Thank you for having me.
As always, and thank you guys out there for another great show. Again, we got Comic Book Talk with Friends tomorrow. We got Say What Wednesday, Uncivilized on Thursday, Figure Flex Friday, full rotation on everything else, whatever drops. We do an episode of The Corner. On top of that, we have the interview with Yost from Jazz Inc. on his pre-order event that we're going to be doing. So definitely you want to be there. So it's going to be incredible. But yeah. Other than that, thank you guys for being here. Another great show. Until next time, man, you have a great afternoon, rest of your Sunday, relax, whatever you want to do. And we'll be back here next Sunday. Talk to you guys later. Peace out. We are out.